Glad you guys could hop on here tonight. We're going to jump straight into, if you guys are okay, we're going to jump straight into the Monday motivation that was Tara Castaneda. And I'm going to switch over here, share my screen. All right. And Jetty, if you'll let me know if you can see, like, I want to make sure that I'm not hiding the chat or the transcript over here.
So it is 4:00. I absolutely positively want to get started. I want to get started on time because we are back to back now with our wellness webinar. And so it's very, very important that we stay on time. But before we introduce our speaker, I want to ensure that you guys are practicing what we preach, right? So what we preach is that we are a health and happiness company. We are a product-based company as well as a work-from-home opportunity. And this is the time for you to practice your skills in terms of figuring out how do I talk to people about the business. And there's a lot of reasons people don't talk about the business. I honestly and truly believe none of those reasons trump actually doing it. Those are all little stories that we tell ourselves that may or may not serve us, may or may not serve our neighbor, may or may not serve a friend or relative who is right now looking for some income. And so I want to just empower you and to continue to have discussion that sharing the business is so simple. It is as simple as just, I like phone calls, y'all. So, I say call, but I think it has to be a personal touch of some kind. And imagine me just calling Tara and just saying, hey, Tara, I just needed to check in with you. I'm checking in with all of my friends right now. I know you've never expressed an interest in taking a look at Plexus as a source of income, or maybe Tara said no before. So I might say, I know that in the past, you have said that creating an income with Plexus is definitely not for you, but I'm circling back around with people because circumstances have changed for many people. And right now I'm going to start a group of people together and teach them how to make the most out of Plexus from a financial standpoint. Is that something that you would consider having an additional conversation about? What are your thoughts about checking it out? Just super casual, super simple. Does that make sense, y'all? I want to make sure that you understand that that conversation is one that you want to have regularly. And even if you're struggling with that, as you share samples, the minimum you should be doing at this point in time is saying, so the products are great, right? Yes, they say yes, and you're like, good. So one thing that I want you to know as well is that there is also a work from home opportunity attached to these products. Is that something we should also have a conversation about? Are you open to checking that out at this point in time? Two very, very simple conversations that you can incorporate. And I want you to expect to hear no more than you hear yes, because that's just what it takes. It's just what it takes. If I tell you, talk to 10 people, and out of those 10 people, probably 6 or 7 will say no, but like 1.5 is going to say yes, you have to plug through those 10 conversations. You just have to plug through those 10 conversations. Just real quickly, and this is just sales 101, y'all. And it's funny because we're all sitting at home trying to find things to do. And I was just like everybody else that has nothing to do on the weekend, making TikToks with kids. And my son said, your one TikTok actually is picking up a little bit. They have the channel, so I just ride the wave. But I said, yeah, but that one didn't work out so well, and he looked at me, and he was really, gave me this really disgusted look. He said, you have to have a whole bunch of bombers before you get a good one, Mom. You either have what it takes or you don't. And I was like, thanks for the reminder. This is what I teach all the time. It is 100% a numbers game. And if you commit to putting in the numbers, you are committing to your own success. So as you listen to Tara, I 100% want you to know there's no secret. There's nothing here about Plexus. There's no, golden ticket. 100% everybody who's had success in this company has had to wade knee deep in the nose. They've had to wade knee deep in disappointment because somebody they wanted to do it didn't want to. And that's not our call. What is our call is every day, all day, waking up and having those conversations, even if they scare us. And so one of the things that we want you to remember is that you can always stay tuned to our training calls right from your phone. If you are not part of the Train Me texts, or little fun fact, if you were, but then you got off of some of the others. So we all share the same number at Plexus. So if you didn't want to receive other texts and you told them to stop, you have to go back in and tell them, sign me back up for Train Me. Stop means stop all of them. So I want to ensure that is going on. And we are actually in the middle of changing systems. So thank you very much for that question, Heidi. So we should be up and running in Canada again very, very soon, very soon. So as we think about this topic of inviting, I want to remind you guys for our last call that we are having a things you should know, tips and tricks from the people who are actually having huge success with 3-day challenges and 3-day experiences. And April 15th through April 17th is when you're going to get tips and tricks on how to sell those packs, actually how to create excitement around those packs. And then from April 27th through April 29th, we want you to be creating your group alongside us. And then you will absolutely be able to get tips and tricks on making your 3 days even better. And then on April 30th, which is the last day of 3 days, you are going to get all the tips and tricks on continuing to convert those folks. So we are super excited about that. I want to make sure that you put those on your calendar because you're going to hear from, who are we hearing from? Type in the chat area. I'm thinking my mind is trying to find Jennifer Leaf, and it is Brooke. Isn't it Brooke? No, Emily Roberts. Emily Roberts. There we go. Thank you very much. Yes. Woo. Being at home. My brain is just going by the wayside. So, and we can look these ladies up. I just want you to know, like they've done all the scoring. They have brought all the people on board. So it is working. It is working for them. We want it to work for you as well. The Train Me text number is just the numbers that convert to Train Me. And I'll let the ladies put that number in there for you. But without further ado, I want to introduce you to Tara Castaneda, who is a Diamond Ambassador. She is going to talk to you about creating a culture of inviting. And for those of you that are just still learning, inviting is the third step in our send, share, invite system. And inviting is where most of your folks will be hanging out. So this is a really important conversation. I hope you brought a pen and paper with you. But without further ado, Tara, I am going to turn the call over to you. Thanks so much for being here.
How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing so well. Well, today we are going to talk about the art of inviting, or rather the culture of inviting. So how do we create culture in our teams? Let me back up. Yeah, you got to know a little bit about me, I suppose. Look at all these beautiful pictures. Oh, it's my journey with Plexus, and I am so very grateful for the journey that I have been blessed with. And this on the screen are my three little babies. Before Plexus, we didn't even know if we would be able to afford a big family. It was always a dream of ours. And thanks to Plexus, because of Plexus, we not only have one little girl, we've got three little girls. We've been able to just dream, travel, as you can see, buy our dream ranch property with horses. And my husband and I are so blessed to both be Diamond Ambassadors with the company. Now, I don't want to fool you and think, oh my goodness, I just joined this company and I just flew through the ranks. That is not what happened. And so I love how Vivian says, you've got to weed through the no's. You're going to go through fast times. You're going to go through slow times. You're going to have to hear a lot of no's before you hear a couple of yeses. And it's those that really stick with it that get to see their journey just expand and continue growing. And that is what we're going to talk about today, is having and establishing a culture, not only within your team, but yourself and sharing, because it's those consistent measures that you take over a period of time, even as mundane as they may seem, that will get you to that Plexus journey that you want to have. So where is culture created? It is created in chats. Okay, so some of you might be going, oh, I thought it was my team page. Well, I thought it was too a long time ago, but I have learned, and Wendy Larson has been a huge mentor in this topic for me. I always believe that you learn from multiple people in this journey. She's been one of those for me that she may not even know it, but she has been. But you create culture in chats. So I want to talk about that for a second. There's three things that a chat should be. One, it should be purposeful. Two, it should be set to achieve goals. And three, there should be some expectations given. Okay, so for some examples, what do my chats look like? So I have a chat group for every month. The name of it changes to March Silver Chat or April Silver Chat. It is a chat that everybody goes into if they're brand new, if they're a veteran, if they used to share and then they stopped and now they want to come back. It's for everyone who wants to go silver, so adding 3 level 1s within that month. That is our monthly chat, and then it changes for the next month. And so at the end of the month, there's oftentimes a lot of chatter going, oh, I'm 1 away, I'm 1 away, I'm 2 away, I've got some potentials. We're really encouraging and creating that FOMO, fear of missing out, on silver. Another chat that I have is my levels 1 through 3. I sometimes do special things for that set of group of people, and we have them there. I see a question, is this on Messenger? Yes, this is on Facebook Messenger. And it's that particular silver chat is changed monthly. And then I might have some groups that I'm in that are quarter-sized groups. So the first 3 months, and then once the first 3 months, it changes to quarter 2. So that way they stay fresh, because whoever has been in a chat for a really long time, and then it goes dead because it's just, you don't really know where the chat's going. It's been there for forever, right? All of those things. So I make sure it's got expectations, goals that are set, and it's created purposely. Another group that I have is any business builder in my team page. They're there. Anybody that's pushing for Consistency Club. Hey, have y'all forgotten about Consistency Club? That's a side note. Guys, we've got like 2 days left of this Consistency Club, right? January, February, March. You maintain your ranks. You get to pick out some sweet prizes. Who's pushing for that, right? Don't forget about that. That could be another chat. These chat groups are where relationships are formed, bond is formed, right? And I see someone saying that I tried that with my team and it was crickets. Girl, been there, okay? So you're not failing. You're trying. That's what you're doing. You're trying, and I'm proud of you for trying. If you have a smaller team, I don't know exactly the size of your team where it's crickets, but if you have a sideline sister where you guys can create the volume that you need in that chat group to create the chatter that you need, would be an idea for you. Or rally up and get 2 or 3 other people that you can ask them to help create excitement in that chat. Okay. All right. So, you got Consistency Club. I see a lot of people over here saying they got it. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Okay. So now that we've kind of talked about creating culture, how do you foster foster culture. That is through Zooms, right? Don't you love to see faces sometimes? Y'all, this is the first time that I have done anything with my face since quarantine started, so y'all are lucky. I walked out of the room and my husband was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I have a Zoom." Zooms are where you foster the culture. So you're talking all the time in chats, but Zooms are where you get to see your friends, be with your friends. So here's some tips about some Zooms that work really well for my team, right? Set them similarly to your chats. Have them grouped purposefully. Set to achieve goals, expectations given. That having those things and anything that you do when you are leading a team is important because that just encourages the clarity and organization of your leadership, and that's really great for your team. Clear expectations, right? Same with if you're at a job and your boss is telling you to do something but you don't know what or where you're going, right? You want that clarity of mind. Same thing here in multiple facets of our business. As far as my Zooms go, I have them regularly. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples that I do on my team. And if you've got a big team, feel free to use these. If you have a smaller team, reach out to your upline and share these ideas. They may want to try something like this, or maybe they have something like this that you didn't know. Or maybe reach out to a sideline sister and bond together. We are that one plexus. Use the volume for your advantage of those numbers. So I had I don't even know if it's called bi-monthly or bi-weekly, but it's every 2 weeks. I think you can say it both ways. But every 2 weeks, I have certain calls. So, for example, I have a team call every 2 weeks on Monday, whether that's a guest speaker or just us touch and base. Maybe I train, right? I mentor on that call. And then every 2 weeks on Thursdays, I have something that's called a 249 call. My 249 call is for those individuals that are between ambassador level and 249 points. Anywhere between that, you are specially invited for this call, and I mentor those individuals. So that's my 249 call. Other calls that I have are weekly power hours, right? Or I have what's called coaching calls, and that leads me to my next point. You need to have two types of Zooms, right? Two types of Zooms are mentoring Zooms and coaching Zooms. If we want to go back a slide, I don't want to jump up ahead. Sorry, I misled them. So you want to have mentoring Zooms, which is where you're training. So this is a mentoring Zoom, in my opinion. You get to hear me talk at you. What you do with what I say is up to you. It's your choice, and that's where you're going to apply the information. But coaching calls are where conversation and dialogue happen. So for my level 1 teams, every 2 weeks I have coaching calls with them and their team. And I don't really talk very much. We kind of go around and I say, hey, what's going on? What's great? What's not so great? Where are you at emotionally, mentally, physically? What did you see that worked well this week? What did you see that didn't work? How was your homework that I suggested the last call? We really get to talk and have accountability with one another. So chats are where the culture is created. Zooms, as you can see, are where we foster that. Okay, go on to inviting. So what is inviting? It's asking. We on my team call it something different. We call it rowing, kind of like a crew team. You know, when you're rowing? Okay, so some of you are like, what is she talking about? I believe that if we are all in the same boat and we are rowing together, we can really move quickly, right? Or if you're all in the same boat and one person's rowing this way and one person's rowing this way and one person's just sitting there going, I don't know what to do, you're probably rowing and moving in this not very effective way. So what we call it is rowing, inviting, asking, fun different ways to mention this. But what is that? Well, you invite them to challenges, right? Did you know that in your back office, there is a place where they have a 3-day beauty box, 3-day challenge with what to post on day 1, what to post on day 2, what to post on day 3 with graphics. It's done for you, right? So don't you dare say, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm going to hold you to it. Invite to challenges. Sampling. Same thing, right? Sampling challenges or try the product. That's an invite, an offer, an ask, a row, okay? Facebook Lives. wellness webinars. Oh my gosh, raise your hand or give us a shout out if you have been loving these lately. I love them. Wellness webinars, sip and shares, right? Those are so good. I'm going to be doing a sip and share actually next week, but you can do sip and shares of our products, or you can even mix in and do an opportunity share about the business. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be needing this opportunity in the future, right? And then obviously joining is an invite. Guys, I want to be real for just a second, right? Let's just talk about the elephant in the room and say times are a little bit different than what they normally are right now. So I want to encourage you to be sensitive to that, but don't be afraid of it, okay? I want you to be sensitive to where we are as a globe, as a nation, but I don't want you to sit and squash on the amazing things we have to offer. So what my team normally does is we do 3 asks every day. That is kind of like the one thing that we strive for. If there's one thing that you're going to strive for to work your business, it's doing 3 asks. Whether that's to watch a video, maybe the microbiome video in our back office, or the triplex with Dr. Logan, it's great ones, or maybe read a testimonial, invite to a challenge, sampling, all these are asks. We would normally do 3 a day. Right now, with where we are, we're not being so in their face. Instead, we are inviting in a more sensitive way through stories on Facebook, right? Doing polls, reaching out and just saying, hey, how are you? Beginning dialogue, just checking on our friends' emotional status, right? And then like Genevieve says, having gentle conversations on the phone the way she perfectly worded it. Right? Now is not the time to go after people like a hawk. If you see them saying that they're struggling financially or they're scared about their health. I personally feel like that can be viewed as opportunistic and insensitive, and none of us are those things, right? Amen? None of us are those things, okay? We want to lead with heart. So my team's asking or rowing is looking a little bit different than what it normally looks like, but these are versions of inviting, right? It's offering. And I want to remind you guys of something that I posted the other day for my team, is their response to your invitation or offering is independent from you, okay? So what does that mean? We have the beautiful opportunity to invite, to offer, to ask. If they say no, that's independent of us. That is not because of us. It is our job to invite and see. We can't project our own feelings on them. What if this could be something that serves them, right? Does that make sense, you guys? Right? So don't hold back out of projected fear. So these are ideas of inviting. Okay, so next, how do you teach consistent inviting? Okay, so right there, is this the slide edge? I've got my book right here. There we go. Oh, is that backwards for you guys? Oh, there, it was upside down. The Slide Edge by Jeff Olson. Okay. Ooh, this book is so good. So we're recently doing a book study with my team on this. And it talks about consistent little things that you choose to do and make all the difference. And that's what the Slide Edge is. It's consistency. It's consistency. It's the rowing, the 3 asks a day. Do you think once, life gets back to normal, because it will, and we get to be more focused on those asks, more direct asks, do you think that it's super hard to reach out to 3 people a day if that's the only thing you did with your business? Just 3 asks a day. Do you think that that's super difficult? No, it's not. And that's the funny thing about the Slide Edge things it's the mundane things that you sometimes don't think matter, but they do. And because they're mundane, you might go, oh, it's not going to hurt if I don't do it. But if you keep not doing it, it matters. Just like if you keep doing it, it matters. Remember when I was talking about my Plexus journey and I was saying, it wasn't all just uphill. It still isn't just always uphill. I notice that my business and my team does better when we do the consistent small steps. I want to take it off of your shoulders. If you're sitting out there going, oh my gosh, I have to have this like, aha, come to Jesus, amazing lightning strike, huge leap that I take in my business to see anything change, you don't. It's small things that you do consistently, right? Like, for example, the sharing system and IPA challenges. I too have that on a routine in my business. My team can count on it. The first week of the month, we do IPA challenges, income producing activities or intentional productive action. IPAs, whatever you want to label it. It's not the beer though. IPA challenges every 2 weeks. So the first and second week of the month, the first and third week of the month, we have IPA challenges, which get us prepped to have those conversations. And then the second and fourth week of every month, we have our sampling, 3-day sampling, whether that's the beauty box, the Renew You challenges. Sometimes we put them together, but we have that. It's consistent. It's there. It's always something that we can use as a system, right? Use the tools in our resource library, right? The sharing system. Guys, it is there not to sit there and look pretty. It's there to be used. It absolutely works. It absolutely works. We have something in my team that we recently started, and I found these really cute windbreaker jackets on Amazon, and I created a decal that says SG, my team name is Slim Jims, SG Crew Team for rowing. And as soon as somebody gets their century row, so their 100th row, whether that's invite, join, any of those different versions of inviting that we talked about, then I get them this jacket. Okay, they pay for half of it, and I pay for the other half. So there's a mutual investment in it. But it's the century row jacket, right? We make it fun. We show the importance of consistency in our business, and we wear those jackets. We will wear those jackets on our team calls as a badge of honor that we are consistently offering what we know is so good out there, right? Okay, so how do you consistently invite? Oh, I mentioned this a second ago. You set up standing challenges for your team. And again, all of this is in your back office. These amazing resources are in your back office. If you don't find what you're looking for in your back office, we have a culture of One Plexus here in our company where jewels share their content freely and lovingly, which is amazing. And so we can have and share these resources. One tip I have for you on standing challenges is there is power in volume. I've said that a few different times. So if you have a smaller team, pair up with your upline to do this, to get the numbers that you need in these challenges, or a sideline team to get them in. And the key here is set up standing ones, meaning they happen regularly, whether that's every week, twice a month, once a month, but do them regularly. What we do is we use all of the same Facebook group page. We never change it. So if you add people to this group page, they're going to see it for the first time, then we delete out the post after, and we use the same group. There's power in repetition. And like Genevieve said earlier on, it's a form of circling back because you never know when someone's circumstances or thought processes have changed regarding the products or the opportunity, right? Have standing challenges for your team. Keep inviting. That's the key here. All right, we'll move on. Repeat, right? It is not hard work that counts, right? It's the consistent work. And it may seem mundane, like I said. For example, hey, all the moms at home with all the kids at home and hubbies at home, how much laundry you got piling up? Oh my gosh, right? I'm there, okay? The mundane work of folding the clothes out of the laundry so that because you know more's coming in to get it out. That's mundane, but if you don't, what happens? Things pile up. It piles up. But it's the mundane work that keeps creating progression. Raise your hand or anybody shout out in the chats. Have you ever heard of the compounding effect? Has anybody heard of the compounding effect? Basically, it says, it means, in a very, dumbed down version, is the longer you do something over time, even as small as it is, it creates this mountain of a movement. And that's what we're looking for here. So if you are out there going, I have a team, but they're not picking up on the chats. It's crickets. My team is really, it's not popping. I don't know. My posts aren't getting attention. My stories aren't getting attention. My messages aren't getting attention. The key here is, guys, consistency. Because over time, it will work. The work you put into your business, it's gotta be a law. It's gotta be a law, like a physical round law, that the work you put in will generate results. If you do it, it will. Timing, I can't tell you about the timing, okay? But it will. Many of you might have heard of Bob Heilig's popcorn analogy. You gotta let the popcorn pop. Same thought process here. When you stick a bag of popcorn in the microwave for the first minute, do you hear anything? No. The second minute, you might hear some pop, 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 pop. Pretty inconsistent, maybe here and there. But the third minute, it's the explosion. You have to stay consistent in these small things. And what are the small things? Make sure your culture is strong. Make sure you are consistently inviting. Make sure you have the resources to support the invites, the challenges, the sampling systems. Right? All of these things will produce big results in the end. I want you guys to think about an ant, right? An ant. One ant brings 1 grain of sand to the pile, but eventually it makes a huge mound. That is what you are doing. And at first it may seem like, man, my grains of sand are not even building a little tiny bump, but they are. They are. They're building confidence in you. They're building skill in you. Other people are watching, whether that's your team or, your audience out there. It's building an energy up. It's building skill sets up, and it's building results. Okay? Because it's easy to do, it can feel very ordinary, right? It's easy to do ordinary. It's also really easy to not do ordinary because you're like, I can skip it. These are the things, friends, that make all the matter, all the difference, right? Imagine if you ate an extra donut every single day for the rest of the year. What would that do to your health? Right? Or a Big Mac. And you're thinking, I could eat a Big Mac today. It's not going to hurt. But if you did that every single day, what would your body be like? It can have a positive and a negative impact, right? So I want you to think about, what is it that you are doing, right? What is it that you are doing, the small things that you're doing every day? Maybe what you're doing is choosing to not ask. Maybe what you're doing is allowing excuses to hold you back. Maybe what you're doing are the important steps, right? Work out for 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day isn't going to, completely ruin your day's schedule. But if you do 20 minutes a day for 10 days in a row, that's 200 minutes of impact on your health. Do you see my point here? The compounding effect goes either way. Create an accountable atmosphere that creates a culture of sharing. You see how these two marry together? We talked about creating a culture in your chats, talked about creating a culture in your Zooms. In those spaces, something that you need to set in your culture is a culture of sharing, of inviting, of asking, of rowing, of offering. Does that make sense? So work on that culture, and then inside that culture, like for example, it is very common in my team to know that you want to go silver every single month. We have created a culture around going silver. Just similarly, you want to create a culture of inviting. How do you do that? Through the things we talked about today. Standing challenges. That is where the accountability lies. You want your team rowing in the same boat at the same pace, right? That is creating a culture of sharing. I hope this was really helpful for you guys. And I'm so honored. Thank you, Genevieve and Plexus Corporate, for asking me to share. I'm always so very honored. But I hope this is so helpful. Go ask. We've got something so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is absolutely fabulous, Sarah. And I wanted to know if we could talk some specifics, because I know that people love to know what to say, right? One of the things that I want to ensure that you're all aware of is that inviting is an everyday thing because people say no. I want to make that clear, right? So the people that you are inviting are the people who have said no, or the people who are still thinking about it, or the people who are on the fence. So when she talks about 3 rows a day, 3 asks a day, you can see that that's a vital precursor of having an inviting culture, right? So, Tara, let's say you're doing a 3-day beauty challenge next week. What are you calling people? What are you texting people, messaging people, and saying to actually invite them?
Yeah. So I'm a hey girl. I actually say hey girl in life. So if that's you, good, say it. If not, say their name. Okay, so you're gonna hear me say hey girl, because that's me. But I would say, hey, especially right now, and I always try and make it applicable to current times. And I might say, hey girl, are you sick of your 4 walls and your kids and your husband? Because quarantine's a real thing, right? If you are, we're having an event that I think you would really love. It's 3 days to check out our skincare and our beauty box. And I'd love to see if you would be interested in checking out a video about our Joyum and collagen. Would you be interested? I like to start off with a video to see what they think. I'd love to get a little bit, and here's why I like to offer maybe a story or a video first, because when they say they resonate, they psychologically already connect themselves to the product before they even try it. So I really love that aspect. A lot of people just jump right in and say, you can try this for $20 for 3 days. That's fine too. And so I always end with a question and say, would you be interested in this? Or can I send you this? Would you watch this? Or would you be interested in trying it for 3 days? And it kind of depends. I know I'm not giving a really concrete answer here, but it does depend on the person. Because I don't believe that a standard message can be used for everybody. Right? You want to talk to the person, not at them. And so if you know them, if you know that they're like no jokes, like let's get the business done, I would just say, hey, this is what you should do. Here's my simply link. Like try it. You're gonna love it. If I know that they need a little bit more information, I might connect them with a video. If I know that they're all about fun, I would tell them, hey, we've got a really fun event coming up that I think you'd love. It's going to have a lot of fun community. Would you be interested in checking it out? And then once we get that dialogue going, then I guide from there. Does that make sense? I hope that helps.
Yeah. And I think too, for all you that are wondering, like, well, what could I start the conversation with? And to me, too, it's not necessarily about saying the right thing. It's about getting the conversation started, y'all. So don't wait until you're like, I don't know what to say. Then say the thing that you're pretty sure isn't going to be the thing. Starts the conversation. Okay?
That is so true. And guys, I look back. So the other day, I don't know what I was doing, but I was looking back through my Facebook messages, and I got to a conversation where I was able to see what I said like 6 years ago when I started writing, and I was mortified. I was like, oh my gosh, I did that, and it's like pages and pages.
I know.
But here's the thing, guys. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Right.
You can't. So just be you, but you've got to ask. If you don't, then you get nowhere. That's like Wayne Gretzky says. Right. You've got to take the shot. You've got to take it.
Because you're gonna the choice you have to make every day, y'all, is I'm not getting anyone into the event right now by doing nothing. Do I want to maybe risk getting a yes? It's not risk getting a no. It's why won't you risk getting a yes, right? Because if you don't ask, you won't get a yes. You guarantee no yes. You guarantee no yes. So risk the yes. Risk the yes.
That's true.
Kara, don't you feel like right
So,
now you could go down the path of, I love the whole idea of like, hey, how's it going? Stuck in your house with all your kids and your husband. Are you ready for 3 days of pampering? Like,
right?
don't you feel like we could do like, hey, how about 3 days of pampering, $20? We're all gonna get in. We're gonna love it, right?
Yes. We're doing, I'm establishing, my team doesn't know about it yet, so here you go. We're knowing about it now. We're going to be doing an hour-long opportunity event where we're going to have several people live, and we're all going to be having, either a glass of wine or a late night cappuccino or whatever. But it's going to be really relaxed, and some of us may have face masks on, but we're just going to have a good old girls' night where we also learn. So it's a way to connect. It's a different way to virtually connect as human beings. I would love the chance to talk about one thing real quick that is working, that's a different type of ask, that's indirect, that I think right now, particularly right now, really is serving people well. And it's a way that we're still asking, even if you're nervous, you're still getting the point across, because I believe that it is better to do B- work than no work at all. Okay? So if you're out there going, oh my gosh, I just am so hesitant to ask right now in this, atmosphere that we find ourselves in, here, I've got a solution for you. And in no way am I going to take credit for this. Carly Carter, if you are watching out there, this is all you, girlfriend. You are a genius. Okay, so here's what she encouraged me and my entire team to do. And we had a killer February because of it. Killer. Okay, so we use Facebook stories and Instagram stories to literally tell a progression of story. So I'm doing kind of a mini training inside of this training video. I hope you don't hate me. Okay, so I want you to I want you to write down this. I'm not going to do it right now, but I want you to carve out 4 minutes. 4 minutes. And 2 of those minutes, set a timer, I want you to get a list. And I want you to write every tiny little detail of how Plexus has helped you with your health. Headaches, mood, weight, better sleep, every tiny little detail for 2 minutes. Just go down the list. Then for the second 2 minutes, I want you to go down and make all the bullet points of how this opportunity has changed your life. Paid my mortgage, allowed me to get a roof when I needed a roof. I had a car accident and I didn't struggle because of the bill that came up. I found new friends. I traveled. I got to take a honeymoon I didn't get to take. I was able to have a bigger family. I was able to pay that bill. I was able to cut back on my second job hours, whatever it may be. I was able to feel connected when I felt really alone in my house. Whatever it may be, I want you to list those. Every single bullet point that you listed is a story you can tell. So don't ever think, I don't have a story to tell. You just listed out probably 40 stories to tell. And here's how we do it. In Facebook stories, same with Instagram, you go back and you find pictures. It doesn't have to be in real time of your actual timeline. But let's talk about fatigue. And before Plexus, you were super tired. Okay, find a picture of you sleeping on a couch, okay, whatever. Or maybe a really bad picture and you just look really tired. Use that. And you say in the comments, before Plexus, I was tired all the time. And then maybe find a picture of you and your kids, and maybe they're off playing and you're sitting over here. Or maybe it's just you and your kids, and say, I remember feeling like I didn't have the energy to play with my kids. So you're telling the story in each click over of the next picture. You following me? All the way to the end of when things start changing. And I encourage you to be emotional in this. Talk about how it really has enhanced your life. This one thing, we're only talking about energy, nothing else. And at the very end, do a poll. I have found that indirect polls are so big right now. It is such a way to invite indirectly. And right now, if you are shying away from asking directly, do this. Okay, you're not getting off the hook by not doing it right. Okay,
Compliant, y'all. I have to.
oh yeah, be compliant. Definitely be compliant. So if what you need to say that's compliant for sure. But then at the end, say, you know, I might say, you know, I'm doing a challenge group. Are you ready to try this for 3 days? And one of the options might be sure, and the other option you change, heck yes. So I don't really give them an option of no. I give them 2 options of yes. And then when they vote, you get a notification. And so now the door is wide open for me to start that conversation. So then I get to say, hey, I got a notification that you voted in my poll. I'm so excited that you want to try these products. Let's get them ordered so you can participate in our next 3-day challenge. Right?
Whoa.
So it's a way to invite.
Yes. And closing. Closing. Just love that. So love the close. We might have to have you back to just do a training on that, Tara, because I don't feel like we did it justice. So
I know.
now that you opened the door, girl, I am just saying.
Well, I would love to do it with my girlfriend, Carly Carter, because she is such a genius on this.
We will set that up for sure.
Yes.
That's a great question, which is what makes something compliant or not? You guys, it's so simple. It's so simple. You cannot claim that our products cure diseases. So the minute you start talking about how it cured disease or you use it to treat something, you can't say those things in like a public forum, right?
Right.
You can have a private conversation with someone and say, this was my personal experience with these products. But in our catalog, on your product cards, it says very clearly, these are the things you can say. So there are some of our products that you can make an energy claim about, but it has to be with that particular product.
Yes.
If you want to say that you lost weight, you have to use the weight loss product and associate that with the weight loss, and it has to be reasonable. Okay.
Right.
Yes. No, you can't actually say I don't suffer from. Right. What you can say, y'all, and I know that everybody's like, oh, it's not. Listen, can I tell you? People very often don't identify with the actual name of what they're experiencing. What they identify with are the stories that Tara mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself on the couch all day long.
Exactly.
That's not normal, y'all, right? So what am I saying? I am saying what my life looked like, right? My temper was so short with my husband and my children. I never felt like myself. Are you picking up what I'm laying down, y'all, right?
You can go ahead and do the training. That's it. You got it. That's it.
It's just not days I had X, Y, and Z. It can be like, this is it. My life is going from bed to couch, from couch to bed. Whew, there we go. And so just so you know, I do want to move on because I want to get off the call before the 5 o'clock. So this is your opportunity to start using your inviting. So these wellness webinars are moving to 5 p.m. now. So we did this twice a day for the last 2 weeks. You're now moving to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Can I tell you how easy it is to get on this webinar and click start a watch party? Like, that is so easy to do. You will infinitely increase the effectiveness if you actually reach out to people and say, you know, the conversation we were having about plexus, there's a live webinar going on right now. Can I tag you in my watch party? Right? So simple. So simple. So go ahead. There's actually a training in the Plexus Ambassador community on how to start a watch party. Usually from the event itself, you click on the image, it'll say like start a watch party. It depends on where it is based on what you are looking at. So go listen, you guys, this call with Dr. Logan and Carl, like I got to get you all off of this call and onto that call. This is going to be a really, really exciting call. Next slide. I just want to remind you guys, the conversation continues. The conversation continues with our April incentive. Can I tell you, the conversation after you do the inviting Tara has talked about is the closing that she talked about, which is, Tara, you have seen the things. You have tried the things. You have had a great experience. I've never seen a better time to take a next step. 10% off your welcome pack. Boom. 12 cents shipping. Boom. And I can show you how to make $690 in the next 30 days. What are we waiting for? Are you picking up what we're laying down? That's how you layer all of these things into a conversation. Tara, I'm going to let you have the last word, my friend. Don't start another training. Close it up.
I'm sure you're like, I'm never inviting her back ever again. She totally threw me for a loop.
Out of my schedule for the next opening, just FYI.
You know, but the purpose of that is when you create a culture of inviting on your team, then you get people like Carly's on your team that become creative, and we start thinking of new ways to invite and reach out. And so I encourage you guys, if you are hesitant at all, take a deep breath and know that what we have to offer is important, particularly right now. So get out there, and if you don't have a team yet, create that culture, create the culture within yourself, create it to be habitual. Ask every single day, because you never know when someone is going to say yes. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, that was spectacular, Tara. Thank you all so much for getting on. If you have a second, please fill out the poll so that we can keep these calls relevant and exciting to you. Let's show Tara some love. I tell you, she didn't have to get on today. She didn't have to do her makeup. She would have been just fine in her yoga pants and her t-shirt.
I didn't say I'm not wearing yoga pants. I'm definitely still wearing yoga pants.
Okay, guys. So Graciela hopped off, and then got to hop back on here. So the reason I went straight to that tonight is because I couldn't think of anything great to talk about tonight as far as working your business, and I thought, hey, maybe Tara Castaneda will have a great idea. And all her stuff, I love this training. I think it's great. I know that most of you are probably going, I don't know right now. I don't know. So I guess what I would suggest is taking anything that you learned tonight. Was there anything that you did learn tonight that you feel like you could apply immediately? Let me ask you that. If anybody wants to chime in. I did find one thing I'm going to try immediately. So. Anyone, everyone. Okay, I'll go ahead and say what I learned. Well, first of all, I will say, that although this does not apply right at this moment, I learned, it took me a long time to actually put this way of working the business into practice, and then knowing for sure that it worked, because I had to get consistent at it. But that was the inviting every day. I know that right now we don't even have any events scheduled, so inviting someone every day would not apply. But I will say that figuring out, instead of like spending a lot of time thinking about the stuff I should be doing or whatever in my business, I figured out that if I would put the little snippets of time over a week's time, if I had spent literally 15 minutes at a time per day working on my Plexus business, that stacked up, like she said, just like the ant mound. I mean, and then eventually when you're doing that with other people, it's just like the rowing. Cumulative little efforts are completely what this business is about. And inviting every day, for me, in my opinion, is way easier to have people always in your funnel every single day, talking to someone new. If I know we don't have an event coming up right away, but I'm saying still, that's what she's talking about, getting people to talk to you about the products and about the opportunity every single day. The thing that I will apply, I'm gonna try to apply starting tomorrow, is I'm gonna use the stories the way that she did and end them with the poll. Not that I've never seen that done, not that I've never done it, and not that I've, think it's anything you guys would be necessarily. It's not a brand new concept is what I'm saying. I realize that. But I thought, right now might be a great time to do that. And even if there's not anything coming up to invite people to, you could get conversations started if people take your poll. So she was using the poll to actually invite people. But I would say that you could use the poll to start up a conversation with people. I love that idea. So if you've never created a story on Facebook, watch there'll be 2-minute tutorials on YouTube telling you how to do it. It's not that difficult. So don't let that be, if since we have time, it might as well be something that you would utilize. If there are little technology things that along the way, I can remember for a while, I had my phone set to, I think it was predictive text, to where if there were certain things like FAQ that I knew people asked me a lot, like, can you tell me how to order? What's your website? All that. I had predictive text set to where if I just typed in web, it would pull up my website and the instructions to order. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Do you know how to do that? If you don't, that's another thing that would be a smart way to spend your time, is learning how to do stuff like predictive text. Jetty, am I calling that the right thing? Okay, he says yeah. Also, the way I learned about predictive text is
No, it's called replacement text.
Replacement text. I knew that was.
Go to your general and then keyboard, and it'll be there.
There you go. So replacement text, good. I kept thinking predictive text is okay. Well, my son set my phone one time before I knew it had this capability. He set it to every time I would type the word it would say taco. So every text I'm sending out, I'm not looking at my text. I'm just send it, and somebody will say, huh? And I'd look back at it and I'd be like, taco? I didn't mean to talk. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, and it would say, I'm sorry, taco. Oh, it was just basic insanity. By the way, I feel like I'm doing a comedy show that's pre-recorded because I can't see any of y'all's faces and I don't have any idea. I keep thinking, I think I'm still live, right? Is this thing on? This thing on? Oh, mercy. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. I think I need a laugh track behind me. There's Jan. Thanks, Jan. We're all in our quarantine faces, like I put a little bit of something on, but mostly I have
I ain't showing my face.
I know. Becky handed in her excuse slip before this thing even started. She wrote a note to the teacher. So my shirt says, I'm not weird, I'm limited edition. It's one of my birthday gifts, I think, it was Valentine's gift from my sister. So if there's anything you guys want to discuss about what we went over, I know it was basics, but it's always good to brush up on your basics. And if not, I just guess I should put it out there and say that there's a slight possibility, I don't know how true this would be, that over the next couple days, we might lose internet for a little while. And I know some of you have already talked to me about that, but because of everything that's going on, and I almost didn't say anything about it because I don't have proof that that's true, and I wouldn't want to cause anybody to be panicky or anything, but I did decide that it would probably be more comforting if you knew ahead that it might happen and knew it wasn't something super scary. So if we do lose, my guess is that if it was going to happen, it would happen tomorrow, maybe tonight. And so basically I'm putting that out there because of a few things. First of all, we wouldn't have access to do anything anything online for however long that lasted. It could last anywhere from 3 days to 10 days. And I'm not I don't know that any of that will happen. I just know that one of the coded posts of the stuff I have followed for the last couple of years insinuated that might happen, and it's not real clear if that's what it meant or not, because everything's written in code. So, oh, Elaine, we'll have to sing you happy birthday before we get off of here. I'm sorry, April Fools. Oh, she's kidding. It's not really her birthday. Is it really your birthday, Elaine? I think it probably is. She probably wouldn't kid about that, but it is an April Fool's birthday. Happy birthday. How young are you, Elaine?
It's easier to unmute.
Yeah.
I'll be 43.
43. Well, happy
43.
birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not a joke. I've been teased every day, every year since I was little. So
I'm sure that's true.
I've heard everything. And what's crazy is my dad has one sister, my Aunt Marta on that side, and she has one son, and his birthday is April 1st, a year after me. So my Nana and Grandpa have 3 grandkids, my brother, me, and my cousin Tony, and 2 of the 3 of us have the same birthday.
Oh, whoa, that's wild.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild. My dad was one of 7 kids, and he and 2 of his brothers all had the same birthday different years.
Wow.
And they had a sister that had a birthday. It was like September 20th was all of their birthdays, 3 of them, and one of their sisters was September 22nd. And one day, I know I've told this to some of you before, but one day it dawned on me to count backwards and figure out what.
When are they conceiving?
Wow, it's Christmas. It was Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Papa.
So,
I was like,
my roommate in college and her brother had the same birthday, but like 2 years apart or 2.5 years apart. Or no, it wouldn't have been 2.5, but 2 years apart. And so we were trying to figure out, because they were both born in November. And so it turns out that her parents, it was like when it was really bad snowstorm each of those winters, because their birthdays are like, the same day. But yeah.
They said they're saying about right now, because everybody's in quarantine, they're saying it will look
9 months, there'll be a boom. Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying like and one of these days they'll call them quarantines.
Yep. Have you seen the memes about that when they graduate?
I guess that's probably what I saw.
Yeah.
A meme.
Yeah. So my cousin, the one whose birthday is the same day as mine, he's actually in Australia right now. So because they're so far ahead, his was more like today. And so my aunt messaged me earlier. She posted on my timeline, and she's like, "It's already April 1st in Australia, so you get to start celebrating early too."
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to have a Zoom. I was going to get a bunch of my friends on a Zoom to have a cocktail or a glass of wine with me tomorrow. So I'm like, we can't lose internet. That was my connection to everybody.
Maybe if it happens tomorrow, it'll happen after you've gotten to do your birthday. I don't have any proof that it's going to happen at all. That's why I really hadn't said anything to anybody to speak of, really. But there is a possibility. And I will say this. If that does happen, it's a very good sign as to what is actually going on, because the behind the scenes stuff that I have believed all along are the only explanation for why that might happen tomorrow. So I guess what I'm saying is it's not coronavirus related. So you see what I'm saying? Like, people might be scared, because if it did happen, people might be scared thinking they might lose power or something like that. And I haven't heard anything like that. But I think it's weird for us all to be in quarantine. And but this is how we all communicate every week. But I know lots of people are doing this like what she was talking about earlier. I even had conversation with somebody the other day that was saying they were about to do the exact same thing, have a little online birthday. It's making life seem, it's making people think about lots and lots of things, I believe. Some of it might be fearful, but I'm talking about literally the kinds of interesting messages I'm getting from people are the types of things that they're thinking about right now are so heart inward, introspective. I mean, it's been very interesting. So I think before, oh, did somebody about to say something?
I just was gonna say, since I'm still unmuted,
Okay.
there has been some really interesting creative things that have come out of this. Like I really like seeing some of the musicians that are now doing free concerts online, and some of the orchestras that everybody from their home is playing their part, and then you get to hear the whole concert or the whole song, you know, and when you hear that kind of thing, or different parts of a choir with everybody singing their harmony parts. And
Yeah, that's
if you
cool.
go you go looking for some of the good, you'll find it.
Yeah,
And I think we all have different ways of coping for something that's completely turned the world upside down.
yeah,
um, I posted in our little chat group, and if anybody wants to search for it, if you're a fan of Mel Robbins, she started a positivity group. And it's, you know, just a free to join Facebook group, and it's nobody's posting anything um about like statistics of coronavirus or anything like that. It's just where you go to share the good things that you're seeing or something that's happening in your life. um and so it's kind of been a nice little bright spot. And all the funny memes. I'm loving the funny memes. I cannot get enough of those. I I did a post last week where I asked everybody to share some of them, and every time I even find some good ones, I go back and add them back in, so I have a bunch of them all in one place. And then if I just need a chuckle, I can, you know, refer back to that.
that's good.
So if anybody hasn't gone to my page to look at them, there's some funny ones that have been shared.
I like the one that's the welcome mat on the front door that says, like a good neighbor, stay over there.
Stay over there. That's pretty good.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some funny ones. And the ones with the pets, you know, about how dogs are like, it's like their wildest dream come true, and cats are like, nobody asked us, you know?
it's making people be. This whole thing is just making people. I know some people. Everybody's got a different role that they're playing in what's going on right now. Some people are still working. Some people are stuck at home for the first time. And so a lot of people are flipping roles way different than what they normally would be. And also, like when you go driving through town here in Ardmore, there's just not a lot going
Yeah.
on. You know, like it kind of feels weird to drive around and stuff. But
It's weird here when I leave work at night and all the lights are off at all the restaurants and the places around me that I normally, you know, when I leave, they're normally open and buzzing. It's kind of wild.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. It's strange. I appreciate how many people are giving away their services for free, though. I mean, like, there's a ton of fitness trainers who, because they can't teach classes because all of their gyms and places are closed, they're doing workouts online for people for free.
yeah,
There's meditation people doing live free meditations online. There's people teaching art classes online for free. I mean, if you're looking for something like that to keep yourself occupied or kids, there's a lot of people giving a lot of things for free, because rather than try to monetize it, they just want to do what they love to do. So people are freely sharing their passions and getting creative about it. And so a lot of that is, you know, warming my heart.
yeah. It's good. Does anybody have any questions before I close this out tonight? I don't want to leave out a chance for anybody to ask a question since we're kind of cutting it short. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, okay. Somebody has a question. Go ahead, Monica. Oh, you're probably typing it. Okay. I'm just gonna find my music here. Hey, KK. Okay. Oh, is she talking? Are you talking? Oh, there you are.
I am so sorry. Okay.
Sorry. Sorry,
Okay.
I was waiting for you to type and I wasn't even looking.
That is so funny. Okay. If and when we go down, I'm not going to say I'm technically challenged. I'm going to say I'm learning tech.
Okay.
Is there a way to be able to back up any of the videos that you've recorded that are on YouTube that we can listen to on repeat?
I believe that you can go to YouTube. I think you can use YouTube and click save videos to your computer. I think they probably take up a lot of space. So you wouldn't want to,
Okay.
like once this is over with, you'd want to dump them. But I think you can
Okay.
save videos off of YouTube. I think you can even save videos off of Facebook. I think you can save them. I just don't know where they
Okay.
go when you save them. Um,
Okay.
okay. Does that help?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. A download button it's called a download button, she says on YouTube. Okay. I know that there's a way you can save Facebook videos, but I kind of think it just saves it to a folder in Facebook. I don't know that it puts it, could be wrong. You could maybe play around with that function and see
So
if there is a place.
Facebook videos can be saved if you wanted to watch them and do like a screen record on your phone. And then you could save it into like your photo video file.
Right.
The
That's a good idea.
Otherwise, if it's your own, then you have the opportunity to save it. If it's something you recorded yourself or put it in your stories, you can save it. But otherwise, somebody else's, you have to do a screen record. And as far as the YouTube download, I think you have to have a premium account to be able to download and save anything to your computer. Otherwise, it just saves it in your YouTube on like your channel.
So I hope everybody is I hope everybody is okay with the fact that I said that, because if it turns out to be wrong, then I'm going to be like, well, that was wasted effort. But in case it's right, that way everybody doesn't panic. I know that is the kind of thing that would have made me panic if I didn't know what was going on, or that it was okay, that it was going on and everybody was okay, if that makes sense. So
I will tell you, if you're a podcast listener, if you like it, you can certainly download the podcasts to your phone. It does take up our Audible books or your Kindle books. So make sure you download it to your phone, because you can continue to listen. It's the same thing as if you were in airplane mode. So
yeah,
you can still do that.
Okay, that's good. You can actually use little USB like thumb drive type things if you want to save stuff off of your computer that you wouldn't be able to have access to if you have files like I'm talking about. Let's see, how would that work? Probably if you don't want to save things onto your computer, like from YouTube or something, if you want to save them onto a thumb drive or something like that, you could. When everything gets back to normal again, we will do a really fun event. We may just do a team event just with all of us. That's just fun. Do some giveaways and stuff. If I can ever start ordering from China again, right now I'm a little nervous. I wouldn't want to order something from China right now, but I don't have to get all American made stuff, huh? I should be ashamed of myself that I was ever buying stuff from China. I'm joking about that, because almost everything you get anywhere actually came from China originally, at least up until now, right?
Lori, can I ask a question real quickly?
Sure.
Do you think there's a chance of losing stuff that's on the internet, or we just wouldn't have access to it for
my belief
X number of days?
My belief is that we just wouldn't have access to it, but I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, the group of people that really think it's going down tomorrow, they're like, oh, you got to back everything up. But I think what they're wanting is access to all of their little coded clues so they can look back at them and peel through their research and stuff that they wouldn't have access to if they weren't backed up during that time. But I believe that it'd be like when the switch comes back on, everything is there. If not, I'm just here to tell you the whole world's going to be scrambling for a while because
Right.
it won't just be one of us is what I'm saying. You won't be left out in the cold because nobody, I just don't really think.
I'm just worried about my photos that are like up in the Google Cloud or whatever. I just don't want to lose those. And
Yeah.
I am so technically challenged that, Monica, you think you are, sweetheart. Trust me. I got the corner on the market on that. And and I've been sitting here for an hour and 45 minutes trying to figure out how to back up my photos that are on the Google Photos, whatever it is, so I could get it onto my desktop, so I can get it onto an external hard drive, and I'm ready to take a shotgun to this computer. So it's like if I'm just running in place, there's really no point in worrying about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
Well, if you shoot it, you definitely will not get the photos back.
Right.
I did the same thing for about.
You shot your computer?
No, all afternoon. I should have. I did the exact same thing, Becky. I bought a hard drive months ago at Costco, and so suddenly today I was like, I need to go in and just get all my Google Photos just in case. I'm just thinking it's going to go down, and then it's all going to come back up. I worked to the point of cussing. I was like, yeah, I'm out. So
I'm just going to shut down my
shoot it, and I'm hoping it'll all come back.
I'm just going to shut down my computer and unplug it and then not worry about it. It'll either be there or it won't. How about that?
That's what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. So, now somebody said, asked me if I was going to be staying up to see what happens. No, because I have no idea when it might happen. It could be the middle of the day tomorrow. I don't know. It might not happen at all. So, I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone for the internet going down, but I actually hope it does, because then it would make a lot of things that I believe make sense right now. So there's that. Let's see. The whole tones that I use, I actually order those off of wholetones.com, all one word, or some of the ones that I have shared in the Supernatural Healing group, you can click on those. But they will actually be, I believe saving something to Dropbox is the same thing as it has to be streaming to I don't think you can listen to something that's on Dropbox, which is the way that I have shared that link, so that you could basically share my Dropbox links with me. I don't think you can listen to whole tones, and I'm not saying if you buy them from the company, you could, because you could have a CD or you could have the little whole tones pod, but otherwise you have to download it to your phone from Dropbox in order to be able to have it. Yes. And they are long, 22 minutes or so. And so they might take up a lot of space on your phone. I don't really know. President Trump met with he met with these companies today. I wrote them down. Right before his press conference, he was having a meeting with the head of Verizon, the head of AT&T, T-Mobile, Charter, Comcast, and he said two others that I didn't get them all written down. And I already thought it was coming. I already had believed it. And then when I was like, okay, well, that's all your telecommunications people. And I've even had someone tell me that during a window of time while he was meeting with them that the internet was down or glitching or something like it was. Okay. So they probably were testing something, if I had to guess, to see. That's all I know. I don't know enough about how it works, but that's that. So that really made me believe more that it could possibly really happen.
Has anyone ordered a MyPillow?
After the press conference the other day.
And you can use Q as the code and get like a ton of money off. I'm serious.
So I know. hang on one second here. I got a question. There's someone on here. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. If you don't care for asking him, that'd be great. Will he be able to do it now? Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry. I'm talking to somebody who's talking to me privately. Okay. Somebody's got some info for us, maybe, about how to download, maybe keep some stuff safe. Save stuff off your computer. Hold, please. I'm going to find a different song. That one's a little sleepy. I did look in the lullaby folder, didn't I? Okay, while she's doing that, just interrupt me when you get back, Maggie, if you need to, if you're asking. Something else that was said in the press conference today was, as we rescue the most vulnerable among us. I was like, this is not coronavirus. As we rescue the most vulnerable among us. That was something I wasn't even planning on talking about this, but I just looked down at my notes that where I read who he met with is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. When he said that, I was like, what? People who think it's only about a virus, I don't know what they're making of the things that he's saying, because he said several things today. So
yeah, like he's a very good businessman. Forget president. I'm just saying, as a businessman, and every time he says stuff, I'm like, don't people think he's going like squirrel? Like, what do they think he's doing? Like, is he just like completely losing his mind, or?
Wow, I know.
But that one got me too today.
Yeah, Jan is saying that the instructions for downloading from Facebook are on the Doe app when you sign up. And Becky was sharing with me something earlier about how to do it too. Is there a place I can send people to know how to do that, Becky?
I just Googled how to back up Facebook, and it popped that up.
Okay. Yes, that's what I think is trafficking. Yes.
Okay, Lori.
Yes.
This Maggie.
Yes.
Okay, so Ryan said if you have stuff on the cloud, he said each individual person's computer and everything is so different. Like he could be on here for the next 10 hours. So he said basically, if you have stuff on the cloud, you can log in to the cloud and there is a download, like, you can click to whatever it is that you're wanting to keep. You can, click to download it to your computer.
Okay, that's good.
All the pictures, or just 2 or 12, or do you have to select
whatever your computer will hold?
Yeah.
So it's going to depend on your computer and how big, how much storage.
My problem is on that, what I've just gone through for the last hour and a half trying to do.
Yeah.
Is I had to go in and select each one of them individually. And then it doesn't let me download it. It says upload. It doesn't give me the option to download. It says upload. Well, it just uploads it to another freaking Google folder, which is not, it's just like,
so
y'all could see me smacking my head right now.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Ryan, she said it's giving her the option to upload it. Okay, so they probably are actually already on your computer. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, that's what I was gonna guess too.
Yeah. So he said, unless you have it set to only go to the cloud, you probably have it on both your computer and the cloud already. And if it's giving you the option to upload, then it's actually putting it from your computer to the cloud.
Yeah.
So I think you're good.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pray for us. And I started praying last night. I made the post that I made on Facebook, and I mean, like, it was just flying out of my fingers as I was typing, and I got finished with it, and it was almost like I had this adrenaline dump or something, like, because I was reliving things as I was telling about my part of the journey to this, and got to the end of it, and then we got in bed, and I started praying out loud, and I almost couldn't contain myself. I was just like overwhelmed with just prayer and prayer because of what I think is going on. I think they're rescuing little kids right now, and it's like the Spirit was overwhelming on me, and so God, I just lift that up. I can't prove any of it's true right now, but God, if that is what's going on, that you would just send a wealth of your angels, just a massive amount of angels to be there. That this plan would be intricate and perfect. Be with all the healthcare workers right now, people who are making sacrifices so that other people's lives can be easy during this time. God, I just ask that you would just bless those people and honor those people in the work that they do and the sacrifices that they're willing to make. And for people who are working out in the public right now, who are, putting their own health at risk, God, I just ask for a shield, a protection over their health, over their immune system, God, that you would keep them strong. God, that you would just wash them with supernatural courage and supernatural sympathy and love. God, for any of us who right now have someone in our lives who is struggling with this virus or even struggling with the fear about the virus, God, right now, we just ask for your divine covering. God, I do not believe in even a little iota that this is your plan for the end of the world. God, I call your plan straight from heaven here, manifest. Whatever that looks like, Lord. I do not believe that some pandemic is your plan, God. I believe and come into agreement with heaven on earth. Your kingdom come, your will be done here. God, right now, I just pray over any victims of abuse who have ever been, crimes committed against them. Any and all crimes committed against them, God. God, that you would help them psychologically in this time, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that you would rain down excessive wisdom on anybody that you call in this time to help those people. Supernatural solutions. God, that you would use all of us to be a part of that, to help in whatever ways we can. God, that you would be, there's just amazing picture of provision and even increase in this season. Not to just those of us who already believe in you, God, but to everyone. God, that you would draw hearts closer and closer to you. Those who have struggled with belief, and even those, Lord, who have been part of any of this heinous stuff, God, that you would draw them to repentance. God, I thank you for all my friends on here. I thank you how you create such pure, tender hearts in people. And I thank you that the world is about to reflect so much more of that. I believe in the good in humanity. And I believe we are about to see so much more of that. God, we ask that you take away and actually stop any plans that of the attempt to cause division. Instead, God, may there be unity in righteousness, in love, and true power, walking in your authority. God, I declare and decree beauty right now. Let a harvest spring up. In Jesus' name. Yeah. Amen. Wow. Earthquake. I personally think those earthquakes might be explosions. I'm not correcting anyone. I'm just letting everybody know what I think, because there have been a lot of earthquakes in kind of unusual places. Getting rid of those underground tunnels. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Phew. 100 cases. Utah again. There was one. It felt like when this first started, there was one in Utah, right? Maybe the first or second day. In some ways, this feels like this just started. In some ways, it feels like it started 6 years ago. I feel like it's like my days are all kind of swimming together, and
isn't there something in the Bible about the earth crying out because of the blood of the children?
Yes.
I mean, do these earthquakes, I mean, I know there's probably a more realistic or whatever, but just from the spiritual side of it.
Yes.
Would it not make sense that this is the earth crying out? It is shuddering, literally, because of that. That's,
Our pastor referred to it as the birth pains, just like before all the things happen, you know, just all the way a woman's body starts to get ready, and all of that. And all of those things that we're seeing, all of the, weird, crazy stuff is really because God doesn't want anybody, to be left behind, so to speak, so it's everybody get their heart straight and get the world straightened out, Yeah.
Not to belabor myself, or I'm not trying to put myself in any kind of a spotlight, but I did a live yesterday on Facebook, and I have had people that I have never heard of, and it was like a Bible story, really, and just kind of connecting. I told a Bible story, literally, from the book of Exodus, and connected that to right here and now, what's going on right here and now, and what we are all going through, and trying to offer encouragement. And I want you to know, I have had more people that have friend requested me, private messaged me, and followed me that I don't even know who they are off of that. I said that to say this. People are hungry. They want to hear. And they are afraid, particularly people who do not really have a relationship with Christ. They really are starting to think about those things now. And as Christ followers, as children of God, it is incumbent upon us to be that bridge to get them from where they are to Jesus. That is probably the most important job we have right now, I think.
Crystal, when you said about the tornado, was that like today?
Yeah, it was today. And it's in an area that we don't normally get tornadoes in Washington State. So it's not normal.
Yeah. Huh. That's why I was like, I bet she doesn't normally have tornadoes up there.
No. And if they touch down, it's crazy. So I haven't seen anything about it, but one of the ladies that I work with that's in Spokane, she said to me today, they had a tornado in Tri-Cities and we just had an earthquake because they could feel the earthquake from Idaho.
Oh my gosh. That's remarkable. When
Spokane's really close to Idaho.
When I saw a video somebody had made of a guy describing what it was like in New Orleans, the coronavirus. He was describing it and he was so colorful. It was the most Cajun video, like all the things that you would stereotypically think of the things that a Cajun would say. It was hysterical. But I think the dude was for real. I don't think it was, I mean, he might have been being silly, but it wasn't necessarily a spoof. He was literally talking to a news camera. So I sent it to my sister-in-law, who is a Cajun. Well, I just sent it to her. I didn't say anything. And then after a while passed, I thought, I wonder if that offended her. And so I said, hey, she finally sent me back some laughing faces. And I said, this is what happens. These are the kind of people they find to describe a tornado here in Oklahoma on the news. The exact same kind of people where they're just like the description. And anyway, it was amusing. She wasn't mad to find out. She thought it was really funny. Okay. Well, if this feels weird, us getting off of here, but if I don't see you next week, I will see you the week after that, because I think that at most it would be 10 days, maybe 3, maybe none at all. I suggest you pick out some fun projects to work on. You probably ought to pick them out tonight if you need Pinterest. I'm just being funny, but for real, I have projects that don't need Pinterest. I have projects, you know what I'm saying? Things that need to be done that I've just procrastinated on or overlooked or whatever. I suggest that the very best way to keep yourself from getting mental, and that could very easily happen, is to find yourself some project, listen to worship music while you're doing your projects. I think that's the ticket. I'm keeping my phone turned to noon because I'm going to go outside like I've been doing every single day in the Supernatural Healing group going to go outside every single day at noon and pray, noon Central Time. So if you're wondering, like somewhere out there, like the little mouse that sings, if anybody's underneath the same blue sky, well, I will be doing the same thing at noon every single day. You all know what song I'm talking about. So, oh, it is. Graziella's jumping on the Mexico launch now. They had to cancel the in-person stuff, and so I guess they're live streaming it. So we're gonna hop off of here too. So if anybody wants to jump on that, quick happy birthday, because Graziella's birthday is coming up and Elaine's birthday. So I'm gonna sing happy birthday to them. We could all do it together. Anybody who wants to unmute, it will be awful, but that's the best part of it. It's like getting sung to at a restaurant. If you guys want to unmute, we'll all sing it together. Who would I say? Graciella and Elaine. Who else? Oh, who else? Another birthday too? No, somebody else? Jerry says no. Okay, I'm going to go with what Jerry says. Graciela and Elaine, ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Graciela and Elaine. Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Very nice.
Birthday, na 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 na.
You guys.
Come on, that was her birthday, y'all. Love y'all.
Thank you.
Oh, y'all have a good night. Good night.
Bye. Love y'all.
Love y'all.